See what's going on. It seems like they have successfully gone into game, so we'll see what goes on there, guys. This is Igginator taking on Nightwolf, as I said. So yeah, sorry about the delay, guys. Something happened with our spectator mode. Maybe there's a bit of a bug there with his hand. I got the right Nightwolf? Yeah, I do. I'll have to message him. He might have just kicked me off accidentally. But all good. Igginator, of course, playing his Fugan and Starlight, which we didn't see come to too much fruition in the first round, but we'll check it out. I'll message Nightwolf and get him to allow me to allow spectators. And then a smiley face. But yeah, Thorson coming out. It did look like a Dragon Mage, which means, for all we know, the Malagos is incoming. It doesn't come online until turn 8 typically, but we'll see how that turns out. Igginator may be struggling to find the answers to the Thorsan. Mortal Card's pretty good. I don't think he was probably looking at Soulfire, particularly with Twisting Nether in hand. Although against a deck like Dragon Warlock, it's not normal to have to fight for board control, so I think he would feel safe there. He does always have the nice zombie chow to heal him up, but Malagos Warlock able to burst for up to, what is it? I think it's 32, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, the Warlock not having, Iggy not having a way to get any armor, kind of always going to be at the beck and call of when that comes down. But yeah, sorry about that delay, guys. Just something funny with spectator mode. TY Blizz. But yeah, we'll get it sorted. Hopefully we'll have it for next game. And we'll get the hands up in a sec. But yeah, it definitely is Dragon Warlock rather. And if you missed the first game, we had Igginator take down Bootsy. So that happened. But yeah, maybe it seems like Nightwolf's kind of buttering up Iggy a bit here, playing some really solid turns. Like, I'm not gonna say locking Iggy out of doing anything particularly interesting, but it definitely limits his options next turn. I'd say Iggy probably gonna want to get his Sludge Belcher down at some point. Sludge Belcher, as well as, I mean, do you feel safe tapping here? I don't. I wouldn't feel in Iggy's situation like tapping. It's got to be Sludge. I think you're feeling the pressure. Although you can always hope he didn't get Malagos reduced, in which case it's not normal, because it'll be double Dark Bomb, double Soulfire, which is 8, 6, 8, 14, 19, 21. So he would be safe if he got a Torn Up against a non-Malagos combo. But choosing instead to get the Fugan out, which is weird because it doesn't really contest board at the moment. I maybe would have liked to see the Sludge Belcher. Who knows? We might see a quick win come out of Nightwolf. I'm in the dark as you guys because can't see his hand either. So okay. Whew. Iggy counting his stars there. But yeah, definitely setting up for a pretty good Twisting Nether turn here. Oh yeah, this is the thing. Nightwolf wouldn't have been able to see any of Iggy's games, so wouldn't know about the impending awesome animation that's coming up. Maybe would have played around a little bit. The same way you kind of play around Brawls. Not that Dragon Warlock is typically a minion-based deck, but I think Twisting Nether is never going to get more value than this. I think you get a Loathab, you get heal for 5. What else are you going to do? Sludge Belcher, which you could just lose. Yeah, it's got to be a Twisting Nether turn. Okay. But yeah, nice sick play from there. Igginator, no board pressure, but he's fine to be alive. He's happy. We might even try and get a quick reboot in between games, see whether it's just that. But yeah, I'd say this is definitely telling Igginator that Nightwolf does not have the Malagos. Which, which makes me feel Igginator a little bit safe, but again, Iggy looking for his Reno, looking for his heal bots, he was playing Farseers last time I saw, so he has a lot of ways to heal up, but in the end, if Nightwolf doesn't feel pressure, he's not going to play into his burn combo, and he's just going to wait it out for the Malagos, and then, yeah, he'll just kill Iggy for 32. We could see a Thorson here. I don't like it. I think he still needs to get the Sludge Belcher out, just in case, because Malago with 3 of those cards will do it. Because it'll be maybe 11 plus the... Yeah, the 4 extra... So it'd be 12? Yeah, 23. He'd have it with 3 of the cards. We could, however, see something like a Silence. That's not good. I think it's something to do with the Shadow Flame. But he doesn't have any strong. I guess maybe he's setting up for a strong Sylvana Shadow Flame here, which I think is pretty solid. I don't think there's anything wrong with going for such a strong play like that. We'll see. See what goes down. Either way, Igginator, or Nightwolf, just happy to draw through his deck, closer and closer to his combo. Waiting, looking. he's definitely more predatory than Igginator. Igginator's deck definitely optimized to be ultra defensive, but which is kind of interesting coming up against a pretty aggressive deck like the Malagos Warlock. So we'll see what happens. Either way, Hellfire feeling kind of good. Maybe, probably not going to see. He could Shadow Flame Sylvanas, like I was saying, which feels pretty exceptional. I think as well. You need to see some burn, which kind of again says no Malagos. So maybe you go for something like just Shadow Flame Thaurissan. Doesn't feel too bad. Still clears the board. Leaves you with a 2-drop in Thaurissan. Puts the aggression back. Yeah, I think that's the play. I think that's the correct play. Because that way you get things like your Hellfire reduced, you get your Taunts reduced, you get, Spellbreaker reduced. You get a free Soulfire. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think maybe that's the play here. Hopefully Igginator is able to see it. Keep this game going a little bit long. Not that, the Malagos combat's that exciting, but... Yeah, okay. Going here to choose. He's going to choose the Thaurissan. Not getting it off on too many like high priority targets, but it's not about that. It's about kind of faking your opponent into thinking, ooh, damn, this could be the Jirax's turn. This could be the whatever turn. Plus, it makes it a hell of a lot better to tap. And he got Reno, so he's fine. He's totally fine. I would say then we're going to see tap into... I can't Hellfire Reno. And he doesn't want to Soulfire with Reno in his hand. That's not a fun way to lose. So maybe we're going to see... Maybe a bit hasty on the tapping there, because he did want to keep the Thaurissan. Although he may not value it that much. Go face with Ooze.
So many possibilities.
Tap with Thaurissan. Hellfire would clear board, but put potentially a ton of damage on face. Zombie Chow's not the worst thing. I guess again, going for the reduction. It does mean he can play some... He can play the Jackson and get some really big pressure down with Sylvanas. Choosing to go for the dangerous roll on the Boonbot comes out alright, but that would have felt pretty awful to have a Boonbot kind of clear Thaurissan off. This does mean if Iggy goes even for a half combo, that... Nightwolf goes for a half combo, Iggy would feel pretty good. There are other ways for the Malagos to do... The Malagos Warlock to do the damage, aside from Double Dark Bomb, Double Soulfire. You could do it off of the Hellfire, for instance. Card like... Sometimes they'll play Bane of Doom if they're a bit wacko. Sometimes they'll play a card like Mortal Coil to clear minions. There are other Warlock cards. Particularly in the last set, I'm just thinking... I got Demon Wrath, and that's about it. I don't think I got any other direct damage cards. Which is good. But yeah, pretty solid clear here. I think again, they're both kind of feeling safe. They both feel... If Nightwolf has indeed drawn his Malagos, then he feels safe, and Iggy, of course, feeling good with the Reno, wishing he had his BGH, but happy to tap here. So Reno becomes a 7-mana, draw a card, 4/6, heal to full, which is ridiculous. And perfect. He gets the... actually manages to get the Giant off before the Reno, and he's not able to taunt it up in the same turn. That would be pretty cray-cray. He could go for the daring Molten, Reno, Molten Reno, Hellfire,
So many.
Attack, Soulfire's not the worst.
We're gonna be rich.
I would have probably Hellfired before I played Reno though. So maybe a slight misplay if he wants to clear this Dr. Boom. Although he may not even care, because again, you know, just heal the full. But in saying that, Nightwolf they are both getting pretty skinny on the decks. Nightwolf getting 6 cards, Iggy getting 8. I'm curious to see. I'm actually interested to see how this game will play out in terms of
I bring life.
setting it so that is Reno able to kind of walk the walk against Nightwolf. Nightwolf, of course, playing around the Brewmaster Reno, which is the worst thing that can happen to you in the world, I think. Siphon Soul feeling pretty good. Still feeling very vulnerable though. He's kind of saying to himself he's never going to really be able to play that Hellfire from this point. I think maybe even just getting the Spellbreaker down on your Giant, just so you can set lethal up. Because right now he's got 8, 11, 15, whereas if he had the Spellbreaker down, he could have drawn 1 damage for lethal. Feeling good though. BGH, oh, amazing. Still, ugh. He's seen 1 Dark Bomb, he hasn't seen any Soulfires. And double Soulfire is always a gamble, because you don't want one Soulfire to get rid of the other, in which case it just becomes a 1 mana fail miserably, do 4 damage. I think Spellbreaker is appropriate here. Spellbreaker into Sylvanas. Pray he doesn't have Soulfires. So yeah, either way it involves some prayer. Not to any particular deity, just heart of the cards, man. I gotta solve his little puzzle necklace and then,
I wonder.
you know, turn into a slightly more masculine version of himself. I guess. I didn't really figure that out. Side note, I didn't really figure it out. Like, is it like a thing where... Is it a more masculine version? Is it like Yugi? Or is like Yugi just like, oh, gee guys, I can't like deal with social situations, so like I'm just gonna like invoke the power of like, you know, my tiny little puzzle dude, like have a spirit take over my body. Because that's like a really aggressive way to deal with social anxiety. You know, like most people just play with their phone or something. But he's like happy to get possessed by an ancient Egyptian. Which is weird, because like that ancient Egyptian dude, yeah, he's not like every time, like he only comes to the world like for like half an hour at a time. And I mean, Yugi lives for like a couple of years. Like every time he come in, he would have been like, what are these computers? They're like, no, just chill out, so you play this card game. He's like, but you have like magic, you know, he'd be like freaking out, you know? But anyway, back to Hearthstone. Oh, high rolls. Not feeling good. Although who knows, Nightwolf might play his own Reno, so it could be, we could be looking at something beautiful. Like a real lost in translation. Oof. Nah, not feeling good. That's lethal if he doesn't put up a taunt though. Ah, GG, wow. Igginator, able to pull it out of the bag with some high boombot rolls. He would have been, yeah, he would have been decidedly short if those boombots. But again, if the boombots had both gone face and gone short, yeah, he would have, he could have never gone lower than 2. So it would have been 1 off, but most likely he would have always had it. So well played to Iggy there, taking game 1 against Nightwolf with his Reno lock. So yeah, having success with the Reno lock. So we can get a old Nightwolf. I'm gonna leave and see what I can grab the hand. Either way, yeah, well played to Igginator. Staying in, we are watching an upper bracket game. If you're wondering what's going on. So yeah, this is Igginator round 2. I'll pull up the brackets after the game, guys. Don't stress too much. Yeah, Igginator, we did see this Druid in the last match. He does play a really aggro Druid, which is kind of becoming the new style of Druid, I will say. It's only an issue with Nightwolf's hand. Casting. I'm gonna stop bugging him after this, it's fine. Yeah, so again, Igginator playing a really, really aggro druid. We've seen Nightwolf's Warlock. It is a dragony Malagosy thing, so there is a good chance that the druid will be able to kind of rush him down. Igginator starting with a BGH, feeling good. Maybe not so much the Dr. Boom, but double Darnassus. Oi, oi, oi. Every time I say oi, 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 I feel like calling my mom. I'm like, jeez, I've been talking to my mom for a while. But anyway, yeah, Darnassus is feeling good, particularly against Zombie Chow. And really, the only way to kind of deal with those in a nice way is to Dark Bomb, in which case you feel great as the druid. Oh dear. Oy vey. Probably pretty likely here we're going to see Darnassus in a hero power. Is pretty bonkers. So from Nightwolf, we did see a bit of Torn action. It didn't... I'm not sure whether he's playing Moltons. I'd say in any sort of long-lasting Warlock deck, you are going to see Moltons, so he may be fine going pretty low. I think we'll see Igginator maybe get a bit conscious of that going in, but he may just not care. He does have half a combo, and we do know that Igginator is playing double Innovate, so definitely more of a kind of, hey, I'm actually going to kill you at some point, druid, rather than the usual, I'll kill you, but like not before turn 9 druid. I think Swipe's pretty strong here. I think you did see Nightwolf build a bit of a board though, but it wasn't a board of like 1/1s. There was at one point or another an implosion, I'm pretty sure, coming out of Nightwolf. So maybe look at a hold Swipe for that, but it's some really quick, cheap damage, and he doesn't have a better play. Plus, he does want to be hero powering in these earlier turns, just so he can get above that 32 and pretty well guarantee himself never dying. Yeah, I think the druid definitely in a strong space. In saying that, he is gambling with 2 mana at the moment, so as much as it's okay to think that he is ramped, the druid's only got to really kill both these Darnassus and then put Iggy in a point where he can't really do anything next turn, other than Shade. Blackland Corruptor feeling pretty good. Pilot Shredder feeling a little bit better. Not super clear what the correct play is here. I don't think it's Force of Nature, although no, I'd say if he was at a higher health, maybe Force of Nature to clear would have felt alright, but in saying that, you'd still go for the Pilot Shredder. I'd say Shredder hero power. It's not like you're going to die next turn. He's coined, so you know Thorison's not coming out. You've got Dr. Boom potentially coming up, depending when he trades here. I would say we're going to see Nightwolf trade into Darnassus if he can't get a Mortal Coil. But yeah, it's only, I mean, either way, he's got a trade. And if Iggy gets a 4 attack minion, he's 2 off lethal. Out of the Shredder, that is. Oh yeah, Taunt gonna do work. I'm not sure how much silencing he's playing. If he's just playing the double keepers, then he'll feel good. But he may, I've seen some of these aggro druids only play like 1 keeper, 1 owl, or something. It'd be interesting to see whether as well he's playing the Living Roots thing that does either 2 damage or summon 2 1/1s. I feel like that's pretty strong against Warlock, and potentially Warrior as well. I've had that used against me a couple of times as like the Priest, and yeah, it never feels good to kind of use a Holy Nova to clear that. And as well, of course, everyone's seen the Reddit clip where that guy gets like double Living Roots, Darnassus into Savage Roar, winning on turn 4. So look it up. I'll link it to chat in a bit. But yeah, again, sorry about the hands. Just something with the client. Nightwolf might be thinking, which he should be, oh, I can't let anyone spectate me, and it's like, okay. Pretty strong straight here. Again, shooting the hero power, get above that kind of 32 mark. I don't think we're going to see the Shredder trade. So yeah, regardless, Nightwolf may be looking to Thorison here. He might, for all we know, have full Malagus combo locked and loaded. But of course, if he did it now, then he wouldn't have enough. He'd still have to wait till turn 10 to pop it off. Considering he's put like pretty much no pressure on the druid. Yeah, okay, he does play Implosions, which, yeah, of course makes sense. Ooh, pretty solid swipe here. Doing a quick check on his end to make sure he doesn't have lethal. I'd say swipe. It's got to be swipe. Swipe hero power feels good as well. Swipe base hero power lets you take him down to basically 6. I don't think I mean, you gotta remember, Iggy does play Reno, and he knows the power of Reno. So he's probably saying, gee whiz, I hope Nightwolf's not playing Reno. But, yeah, I'd say he isn't. Just because we have seen a lot of doubles come out of him. And Dragon decks are kind of... well, I mean, they're pretty good in Reno. There is Reno Dragon Lock. Plays all the higher up dragons. And then aims to play... I think it's only double Corruptor, double Twilight Guardian, double Drake, and that's it. The rest are kind of one-offs. We'll see. But he has played 2 in-game boxes, so no, he's not playing Reno. Oh, again, he could just splash it. So, regardless, Dr. Boom pretty much seals the game. I think if there's not a Warlock play other than... yeah, even Twisting the Other doesn't do it. There's not a Warlock play that would let you clear all that board, heal up 9, and be able to put even a modicum of pressure. No, I think it's game for Igginator here. Savage Roar, Force of Nature aside, it's still, yeah, definitely able to find the plays. Iggy feeling pretty good about this ramp. This aggro druid has pulled out another quick win in his first match, so I think it is definitely for the meta the correct choice. Kind of like the oil rogue of the moment. So yeah, either way, that is game number 2. Going to Igginator. Pulling it out with the Force of Nature Savage Roar combo. I'm still not 100% confirmed on the Malagos for Nightwolf, so we'll have to ask him if he goes to lower, if we see him again in the lower bracket. But either way, well played to both plays. We'll see game 3 with Nightwolf looking at a potential sweep here if he's not on the money with his Paladin. But oh, this is going to be Paladin Mirror actually. Well, I mean, Nightwolf doesn't play Paladin, but Iggy is going to be playing Paladin. And it is, as I remember, a Secret Paladin? Pretty sure it's Secret Paladin.
Uther versus Malfurion.
We'll see.
I must protect the wild.
I will fight.
Either way, Nightwolf might be playing the aggro dude as well, and I'm curious about this matchup. I've been following it, and people say it's pretty even. Paladin are definitely ridiculously strong in the current meta. Druid, obviously, kind of always better and competitive. Less so on ladder these days, although the aggro Druid is probably that iteration, and it does play quick games. Like that was like 5 minutes, I think. Either way, interesting choice from Iggy to have Harrison. It's rare that I've seen Harrison and Lotheb played in Paladin decks, other than the kind of newer control decks. But again, you know, this is tournament, so it's pretty typical to play. See a lot more tech cards than you would on ladder, if you're wondering. See whether Nightwolf. Nope. Okay. Maybe it just wants to be secret. That's fine. These games are being streamed on 10-minute delay, so we aren't totally ruining the tournament for anyone. I've actually been really careful about that, particularly predicting kind of a stretched out meta, I'll say. Not slow, not boring, just stretched out. Regardless, it does set Iggy up for a pretty solid muster, I would think. Funny enough that Nightwolf was able to get out the Wild Growth, so I don't think that's played in the latest. Actually, is it? I looked at the deck list. I looked at a couple of different deck lists, but aggro druid's like really formless at the moment. You see this like kind of aggro-y, beastie druid thing with the savage combatants and the druid of the, I'm gonna say Fang, whatever it is, the one that can do charge or stealth. But as well, you can just see kind of standard druid, which is looking like what Nightwolf brought. We'll see. Keeper Uldaman, pretty sick here. Definitely wishes he had a... It's kind of, yeah, Keeper Uldaman's kind of like a mini muster, because it'll turn one of these, only one of the 1/1s into a 3/3, which is a pretty good trade. I could look to do... Iron Beak Owl's pretty good. Pity... He can still trade here and keep 2 1/1s, which would still set up for a good muster. And he's got the coin, which lets him pull out Dr. Six if he's playing Secret. But I'm guessing he's not. This is not at all a normal Secret deck. Alright, interesting that Iggy choosing to maybe conserve health rather than go for the slightly better trade with the 1/1, with his weapon rather than 1/1. But I think that's appropriate. 4 damage can really be the be-all or end-all, particularly considering it's the difference between being at 14, which is lethal, and 18, which is, I feel, pretty safe. So we'll see what happens here. Oh, okay, yeah, it's definitely control Paladin. Easy, easy. So Keeper Uldaman feels pretty good. Lothab, not really doing anything, but it's a card. I don't think we're going to see a coin dude at this point. So yeah, coin maybe going to stay rapidly on hands. We've seen doubles. Yeah, we have seen doubles. This could still be like Reno-Aden. Oh god, I hate it. This is what I think, like, until somebody like actually just decides what it's going to be called, I'm just going to call everything Reno-Den. We've got Reno-Lock, Reno-Den, Reno-Tur for Hunter, Reno-Man for Shaman, Reno-Priest for Priest. I'll work it out. Forgive me for not knowing the pronunciation of some of these Reno decks, because they are super fresh. Regardless, pretty good answer to Dr. Boom. I think he'd still feel pretty good. He's got a Sludge Belcher, he's still got these kind of 2 tech cards. I mean, there is the Blingtron Savage Roar Druid. That's always a possibility. Ever since Blingtron came out, there's always a possibility of the Blingtron Savage Roar. I'm of the opinion that we don't see enough Blingtron. Oh, okay, interesting. Boombot choosing not to kill the BGH? That's new. I'm wondering what is these kind of like accepted rules, like, you know, the same thing like Armor Smith always survives Brawl. I always thought BGH always dies to Boombot, but apparently it's not the case. I'm wondering what the new ones are. Is it like Reno is always in your hand on turn 6, or I don't know. We'll figure them out. I'm not really a trendsetter when it comes to some of this like casting terminology. Either way, I think Sludge Belcher is pretty appropriate here. Even Lothab doesn't feel like the worst thing, considering you're coming into a Savage Roar turn.
Reporting for duty.
Not that you care too much. I don't think you could clear a board, but you would do it purely off of just a Force of Nature. And then hope you get your Innovate to finish it out. I don't think Igginator feels too unsafe here. Probably in a good position. Maybe a bit too much tech cards. I don't think he's probably looking at his Consecration. Maybe looking to get some value next turn, but other than that, it's a pretty so-so hand. Igginator is just kind of wearing him down. I mean, Nightwolf, sorry, wearing Igginator down. But Igginator, again, capable of some pretty strong turns. He's able to follow up this Consecrate with maybe Lothab. Consecrate Lothab doesn't feel awful. Consecrate Heaglebot actually kind of feels not the worst. Consecrate Harrison is, I guess, maybe.
Let me think.
Okay, choosing to go with the Harrison here. I think that's maybe kind of the in-between play between feeling threatened by the Healbot
Belongs in a museum.
and wasting Lothab's ability to kind of stop a combo turn. So, yeah, I agree with this. I agree with this. It does, compared to the Healbot, kind of answer the Ancients of stuff that'll come out. Plus, it's got a better chance of dealing with something like Druid of the War and Thorsen. So, yeah, he's gonna feel pretty happy about making that pick. I'm still a bit scared, but again, he's got the nice True Silver into Antique Healbot for the full heal as well. Oh, actually, no, missing out on 2 because the Antique Healbot. True Silver Champion, rather. I imagine he will see a trade. I think Boombot doesn't feel... I don't think Dr. Boom Dude doesn't feel like the worst thing. He's thinking about it, though. He could Lothab, though. Lothab True Silver feels good and puts the pressure on, but then you're just sitting around with a True Silver Champion, which doesn't do much. Yeah, I think Lothab's the way to go. There are a lot of options that turn, but regardless, he's kind of realizing that killing Darnassus doesn't do anything. Oh, he got it off. Okay, well that's it. Double Savage Roar or Innovate something crazy. Yeah, double Savage Roar. Wow. Maybe a little bit telegraphed, but it's... Yeah, okay, so it would have been fine if he'd used the Healbot there. Yeah, I don't know, probably not feeling so scared of that bun, but learning the lesson, you know, you play with fire, you're gonna get burned, or something. So yeah, interesting there. Nightwolf taking out Igginator in game 3 with a double Savage Roar combo. Me like. I think the correct play for the Paladin was still, you're always going to be wanting to put pressure on. Just because you know it's kind of getting these points where if you're not putting the Druid in a position where he can't kind of absolutely put down minions to line up a good Savager or Force of Nature, then you're in trouble. So I think that was still the correct play. But again, it kind of shows you that there were options. Iggy, of course, showing us that he's got Tyrion, because every deck plays Tyrion. A quality, though, not a card found in a lot of decks. Plus, we got the new ones. What was it, like the Arena one? That kill, it's like a brawl, but it leaves a minion alive for you and a minion alive for them. And we've got crazy grey-haired dude who, again, from Warcraft lore, who reduces all enemy minions to 1 attack. So, interesting to see whether those are in. Plus, Bolvar's not awful in this matter. He's a slow minion. People are saving silences for all sorts of crazy shit. Games are going long. If you're a paladin, particularly, dudes are dying left and right, man. Dudes are dropping like flies. Regardless, I feel like this is pretty strong. Quick shield mini bot into dude into hopefully muster. We'll see what happens with the warlock though. This is Nightwolf's dragon warlock, and this is the same paladin we saw last game. So yeah, definitely capable of not a lot of reach in this paladin, but a lot of healing. Dude feels good. I don't think trade's appropriate. I don't think you really care about 2 damage. And you really just want to make sure the Warlock's always having to be defensive. Plus, you probably play double Consecrate, and you do have 4 turns worth of weapons to get through at some point. So yeah, a lot of healing. Total healing for this hand, 16.
Reporting for duty.
So yeah, but again, not a way to get above 32 health. So if the Warlock is able to kind of keep these turns being pretty, you know, keep basically the Paladin placated, play pretty passively, get the card draw off, make sure he's not being threatened by 4 damage True Silvers. He can eventually draw into the 32 damage combo and just win, regardless of whatever Igginator's got on board. Unless, of course, the Soulfires roll badly, but at that point it doesn't matter either. Too much, because he's got a whole bunch of other spells that synergize. I'd say it's about even. There's no here nor there at the moment. He's going to feel pretty bad having to go for the True Silver, although Aldor doesn't feel like the worst thing. He could equality if he wants to get rid of it. It's a matter of whether he thinks, well, actually he knows that there are a couple of bigger minions coming out.
Let me think.
And he's got the Consecration, so it makes the equality more valuable. I don't know, I would have liked the weapon here. I actually would have liked the weapon.
Reporting for duty.
I think he's valuing his Knife Jug a little bit too much. I think he's forgetting that Warlocks typically play a lot of ways to clear boards, so... And whereas Paladins don't against some of the bigger Warlock boards. I am not 100% on that play. It's definitely the play that pushes damage, which is what, like I was saying, is he should be going for. Interesting to see whether he keeps Lotheb here, maybe predicting an un-Thorstened, you know, combo of some sort. It feels like Iggy's feels rushed. That's a weird scenario to have. It honestly feels like he's playing rushed as compared to his other games. I haven't played much this matchup, so I'm curious. There's no wrong play as we saw from the last game, except the one that didn't involve healing. But yeah, I'm curious to see how they're faring out. This is again a proper tournament. Players get under pressure. You know, I'm able to see, well, usually see both hands, but you know, I'm able to sit back here and kind of try and work out the best plays. And you guys obviously in the same position, so it's hard to say which way you're there. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure that's correct. Either way, he does have 5 damage to put on the Warlock, which is pretty strong. Sludge Belcher keeps him safe, but at this point you're really happy to just see maybe a Peacekeeper plus Dude? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, okay, go for the Sludge Belcher. Kind of the half-measure play between those two. Interesting. He does have total in hand 12. He's got 14 in hand. So, but he doesn't want to telegraph that because he would love the Warlock to tap so we can kill him in the next 2 turns rather than over 3.
Stop yelling! My shield for Argus.
Against 6 happens. Probably wishing he kept the equality this point, but you know, it wasn't a bad play at the time. Consecration not really doing a hell of a lot. Lets you kill the 5/5, which feels good. But it spawns an imp, and you pretty much guarantees you're going to spawn 2 imps. Yeah, Consecration... Yeah, Consecration feels awful.
I wonder.
Yeah, Consecration Aldor. But you still lose a dude. Shoot a mini-bot Lothab, maybe? Just to put minion pressure on. I'd probably say that's what we're going to see. Yeah, all the other plays were just awful. Lay on Hands is pretty much a dead card at this point. There's never really a point where you want to, against Malagos Warlock, particularly, well, yeah, okay, in the later stage of the game, yes, the heal's great, but in the early stages, like now, no, it's not what you want to see. Even the Truce over here is just, ugh. Hopefully looking for BGH. Consecration kind of might do work. Yeah, we could see Consecration do something here. Keeper Alderman. Spell damage would be awesome, but nope. So he's got True Silver, Keeper Alderman lets him clear. So yeah, I think that's maybe the correct play. Keeper Alderman obviously going the Rag, and then the Lothab trading into the Rag. That would let him clear the 2 kind of most threatening stuff. And he'd go take 3 damage. Plus he'd still have a pretty nice board. Sure, his Lothab's going to get traded into by 2 imps, but it did clear Rag, so that feels good. Alternatively, he could just ignore it and go face. That is the option. He'd go face with a Lothab, attack, then consecrate to minimize the leftover damage. Yeah, it doesn't feel bad as well.
I must move quickly.
None may steal our
I'd say though, in a deck where you know that there's just a ton of burst damage coming out, you kind of always want to minimize that, because I mean, difference between 16 and 24 is like 1 spell, so we'll see. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. I maybe would have liked to have seen him just kind of chill out on the Dark Bomb. Although again, this is saying he has Malagos, which he just may not. I really do want to see this deck. Regardless, Harrison Jones a total dead card in this matchup. Consecration. We did see Igginator actually get double 4 damaged bombs, so yeah, not having good luck with these. I can't see him attacking this turn. I don't think it's really appropriate. Lay on Hands could be pretty good, follow up to all this. Harrison Jones again, just a total real dead card. Maybe this deck's a little bit over-teched. I think that's kind of the temptation, particularly if you're playing a Reno deck where you kind of have one of everything and you see every single card for its use. That is, you know, Harrison Jones at its best, destroying Doomhammers and things. Kazan stealing Ice Blocks. Double BGHs, killing double things. Maybe even a Black Knight, not that you would see a Black Knight in this meta, but that can kind of lead you to your next deck where you're like, well, I need to bring another deck. You know, I don't want to have a deck that doesn't have something like a Harrison Jones in it if I'm playing against, you know, a Jiraxis or if Shaman comes along. So I think that then you start looking at your deck and you're like, well, I got 30 cards and obviously the Harrison Jones is a keeper, and then you're starting looking at cutting, you know, well, limiting your options in other ways. Like maybe you don't take double Sludge Belcher, maybe something like a Bolvar doesn't make it in, not that it would. Maybe you don't see double Quartermaster, but we know he does play double Quartermaster, so I don't know, it's just, there's always a temptation to kind of be your own butcher for your deck, really. And because at the end of the day, the strongest decks are 15 cards doubled up that synergize together well, because they're just so consistent. But with a Reno meta kind of pushing it in a totally different direction, yeah, I don't know, it's definitely a, they call them noob traps, but I say that in the affectionate sense, where it's like, please start play from here. Oh, okay. But yeah, you know, they call them noob traps where it's like, there's always a temptation to kind of overdo your deck making, and then once you're overdone, you know, you may think you're taking a net deck in a really cool direction, but the reality is you're creating the deck that came before the net deck. So that is, you're creating the deck that resulted in the really optimized deck. I don't know. I'm just saying, you know, it's a new meta, it's a tournament, people want to bring some fresh stuff, but yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I think it's cool that like I say, you know, it's cool that we do see Hearthstone Melbourne, and that, you know, we do have tournaments and things, but it's a tournament after all, so there's always that sense of, you know, you've got to bring your A game, but you know, even if the pros, like that is the, you know, people like Reynard, people who played like hundreds on thousands of hours of Hearthstone haven't totally figured out a meta. It's kind of hard to see somebody who doesn't play at, you know, top 100 level working out as well. Like I have no idea. Like I'm playing goddamn Stoner Mage, so yeah, you know, not ragging on any players, just saying, you know, if you hear me kind of criticizing some of the builds, that is, I am doing it in a way that kind of says, hey, I have no idea what the meta is either. So we'll see how it plays out. That's why it's fun. That's why I actually, yeah, I'm loving casting this. Jessica feels too slow. Yeah, Jessica feels way too slow. Harrison feels like a dead card. But again, it's not really contested by much on board. You do have a giant weapon. So probably the play that lets you connect your weapon of face eventually. Which in this case is, weirdly enough, Justica, BGH, Zombie Chow, dudes. No, okay, Justicar, Zombie Chow, dudes. Yeah, that feels like, because then you hit the Twilight Guardian for 3, because you're not scared lethal.
Move quickly.
Then you pretty much got a board full of 1/1s, and he can't use Hellfire because you'll kill his own stuff. And if he steals it, you don't really care. Yeah, this feels like the winning play. Okay. Oh, okay. Interesting that he chose to go for the dude instead of Zombie Chow. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, sorry, what am I thinking? He didn't want to heal him for 5. So yeah, I guess. Igginator seeing definitely the stronger play. Utilizing the refresh you get on Justicar. So yeah, cool stuff. But yeah, whenever I'm like criticizing a play, I'm just doing it in a way that, you know, stays with the ideals of, hey, you know, the meta's pretty wacky at the moment. So what do I know? Igginator, because yeah, I mean, Nightwolf does have a good chance to, does have a good way to clear here. He'd lose a 3-1. He would basically have to have a taunt or a heal or he'd die. He can now not Hellfire as an out.
I see
He's got a taunt or heal. Doesn't feel good. That's it? Yeah, I think that's it. Duck Bomb's pretty much thinning out. Steals the 1/1, kills the 2 1/1s, and then yeah, he hasn't got a taunt. That's it. Yeah, well played to Igginator. Jeez. Nightwolf scaring us there. But yeah, Nightwolf definitely putting up a fight in all 4 games. But Igginator taking him down 3-1, just like he did actually Bootsy in the first round. So well played to Igginator. Really well played. Pity we didn't get to see the hands of Nightwolf. That would have been great, but you know, what are you going to do? I'm going to take a quick break, put on some music. Yeah, well played. We'll be back in just a tick, guys.